Get ready, ladies and gentlemen. There was more to what transpired in that courtroom than just chaos. It was nuclear. We're referring to the Bronx-born rap queen, Remy Ma, who never backs down, screaming and collapsing on the ground. And why? Because Papoose, her man, got up and made the kind of revelation that broke everything. Ever ponder what actually transpired between Claressa Shields and Papoose? Yes, everyone has heard the rumors and the late-night training sessions. However, Papoose came clean yesterday in front of a surprised courtroom. The one Remy pleaded with him not to bring up that evening. And his words left Remy on the ground and Jaws on the floor. And the ever-cool Claressa did not move or blink. Instead, she gazed straight ahead as if anticipating this. This is not a work of tabloid fiction. It is a blatant betrayal that was witnessed in real time in court. Additionally, we have the breakdown that no one else is willing to share. Stay tuned, because what we're going to show you will make you question whether Remy's marriage even happened. This isn't just another celebrity scandal, ladies and gentlemen. Netflix bosses would swoon over this type of courtroom mayhem. At the heart of it all is betrayal, bombshells, and one very shattered queen, Remy Ma, who collapsed in front of an open court as her so-called king, Papoose, stood on his tiptoes and confessed to something that nobody, we mean nobody, was ready to hear. This wasn't just any Tuesday in court, so let's go back in time. Oh no. The purpose of this hearing was methodical, a regular appearance in relation to Remy's continuing legal drama, which resulted from a witness in an old assault case. Hi, Remy's old adversary's daughter, Jasmine Dior, has returned with fresh accusations. But rather than maintaining the focus on herself, Remy was taken aback by something much more profound and intimate. Imagine this. It is tense in the courtroom. There are reporters in the front. Sketch artists are prepared, but cameras are prohibited. There she is. Wearing that black power suit as if she were bulletproof, Remy Ma had held her head high. However, in the rear corner, the unbeaten boxing champion Claressa Shields sat comfortably behind a pair of huge sunglasses, drinking water as if she hadn't just arrived to ruin someone's marriage. And Papoose appeared to be a man torn between a precipice and a grenade. Now you must know about that night in order to comprehend why this event detonated the way it did. Nobody has the courage to confirm the night that everyone in the industry is speculating about. The first night of it all. While Remy Ma was out of town on tour, Papoose was reportedly practicing with Claressa late into the night, relying on her spouse to keep the fort up. Between those ropes, what transpired? Well, nobody knew until yesterday. The entire courtroom is now aware. Let's unpack it then. Papoose was called to the witness stand as part of a procedural defense motion. According to several anonymous insiders, who, let's face it, were most likely simply the courtroom janitors texting bloggers from the hallway. It's just a statement, nothing spectacular. But something changed when he climbed up there. His voice faltered. His attorney attempted to step in. The judge seems uneasy as well. Then all of a sudden, "I owe the truth to my wife and to this court," Papoose stated, "even if it means the end of the world." He gave Remy a direct glance. She tensed up. Claressa remained still. Then he spoke it. The thing that silenced the courtroom. It was more than just practice. It went farther that night with Claressa, he acknowledged. Screaming, silence, and then Remy Ma's collapse. People hurried over to her. Paramedics were called by court personnel. Like a funeral drumline, the judge beat his gavel. Claressa continued to drink the water as if it were chamomile tea. Was it a setup? A long overdue confession simmering in a pressure cooker of secrets, or a well-timed betrayal? Let's discuss motivation, because this was more than simply adultery. Emotional warfare was what this was. Keep in mind that Remy Ma and Claressa Shields have a long and silent feud. It all stems from those combined appearances in 2018, when Remy allegedly advised producers not to put them on the same panel, and Claressa was dubbed the female face of hip-hop boxing. A few years later, Claressa appears mysteriously everywhere. Charity events, backstage interviews, and even quiet studio evenings that nobody thought to share until Remy was tagged are all part of Papoose. But hold on, the internet remembers. The notorious video from the BET weekend after-party last year shows Claressa and Papoose getting out of the same car around 3:17 a.m. Only 2 doors open in the video, despite their claims that it was a group ride. Not even in the city was Remy. Nevertheless, Papoose was given the benefit of the doubt by most supporters. Why? He waited for her during her prison stint, protected her from media harassment, and raised her children as if they were his own because he made his entire career out of being Remy's soldier. Up until this point, Papoose served as the brand spokesman for loyalty. What changed then? People close to the couple say that things haven't been going well for some time. According to sources, Remy's aggressive rebranding, foray into mainstream TV, economic endeavors, and purported creative departure from Papoose caused a change in their dynamic. Rumors of a cooling-off period have been circulating for months, and she has been seen at more occasions lately without him than with him. In addition, Claressa has been subtly associated with every company that Papoose promotes these days. Well, Sherlock Holmes is not necessary to recognize their inscription on the ring. Let's go back to that courtroom incident, though, since it wasn't only the confession that was the most unsettling aspect of it all. It was the fallout. Remy didn't look at Papoose as paramedics assisted her up. Not once, but she stared at Claressa for a long time. Yeah, it happened, and I'm not sorry. What Papoose meant when he said went further has not been officially confirmed. Just a chilly confession and the devastation it left behind. No recording, no pictures. However, the harm is already done in the realm of celebrity courtrooms, where perception and reality conflate more quickly than a TMZ headline. And the fans, oh, they're going completely crazy. In a matter of minutes, Twitter took off. Remy Ma was a global sensation. It was deemed a betrayal by several fans. Some referred to it as karma for previous conflicts. However, everyone, and we mean everyone, had a single query. What actually transpired with Claressa that evening? More significantly, why now? The internet didn't simply respond to the news of Remy Ma's courtroom fall. It exploded as it spread like wildfire. Remy Ma, Papoose, and Claressa Shields were all in the top 5 globally within minutes. Before she had stepped off the stretcher, memes went viral. According to their own stories of what actually transpired that evening, the so-called exclusive insiders started to emerge from every digital sewer like clockwork. Let's begin with the most important one. The security footage that was leaked was purportedly taken from a private gym in Jersey. Online, a grainy green-tinted video purportedly shows Papoose and Claressa by themselves, with the lights down, their gloves off, and a close-knit lean that has nothing to do with sparring. Just as their hands make contact, the video ends. Just enough to keep the internet guessing, or coincidental? The audio clip followed. A bizarre 47-second clip of a man mumbling, "I never meant for it to happen like that. Don't tell Remy, could it be fake?" Sounds suspiciously like Papoose. It's a gossip spill vibe, though. We don't wait for approval. We examine the atmosphere. Additionally, the mood is blatantly guilty. Hours later, blogs were quoting unnamed people who said Papoose and Claressa had been emotionally linked in secret for more than a year. Under false pretenses, one even claimed the two spent a weekend together at an Airbnb in Miami, the name under which Mr. and Mrs. Black were reserved. The original? Not at all. Worried? Very. Fans and bloggers weren't the only ones stoking the fires either. Verified celebrities even began to comment. Papoose wasn't entirely clean, as Funkmaster Flex tweeted, "Told y'all years ago. That's not a dude." Patient who has no backstory. Cardi B sent a single emoji of an eyeball. That's all, only eyes. However, that was enough for followers to go into full conspiracy mode because it came from her. Within minutes, screenshots of the previous Remy Cardi drama reappeared, suggesting that this was all long-standing industry retaliation. Then the SMS texts arrived. According to screenshots taken from an iCloud backup purportedly owned by Claressa, Papoose sent messages such as, "Just say the word and I'll walk away from everything." One of the screenshots even had a timestamp that corresponded to the same evening of the purported training session. Let's take a moment to appreciate the beauty of the chaos. Remy Ma, the same woman who built the beauty of the chaos. Remy Ma, the same woman who built her career on her unwavering character, was suddenly the focus of hip-hop's most infamous betrayal scandal. Since the elevator incident involving Jay and Ba. It wasn't an elevator, though. The courthouse was here. And we got a full-body collapse, paramedics, and a confession that will be taught in Scandal School 101 instead of a mute nod. Here's the real kicker, though. Claressa didn't appear in court to defend Papoose, according to those close to her. To testify against Remy, she came. Hold on, what? Yes, you heard correctly. The true reason Claressa was in court may not have had anything to do with romance. While the internet was busy reliving the collapse, freaking out about that night, and wondering whether she had just taken someone else's man. According to others, she was ready to publish Remy's claimed threats regarding a previous fight with an unidentified female rapper. Who cares if the court records that have been disclosed are fake? In a sealed declaration, Claressa claimed that Remy's crew had emotionally intimidated her and sabotaged her reputation. Was Papoose's confession a result of a spontaneous outburst or a calculated treachery if Claressa arrived to speak against Remy and he was compelled to testify at the same hearing? Let's move on to what's left of Remy's inner group. "This is not what we rehearsed," her longtime publicist, Tanya Martinez, reportedly yelled into her phone as she stormed out of the courtroom mid-hearing. "Oh, you rehearsed this, girl? What kind of press run were y'all planning?" Her stylist posted and promptly deleted an Instagram story that featured a destroyed makeup palette with the caption, "Can't Glam Rage," as well as her legal team. 2 lawyers reportedly left the case shortly after Papoose's testimony, citing irreconcilable differences regarding client communication. Translation: they didn't sign up for this level of drama. Meanwhile, Papoose hasn't spoken to the media directly, but someone from his team did. According to a purported family representative, Papoose didn't intend to confess, but he broke down under pressure after seeing Claressa in court. Emotional impulse or guilt. Either way, it's the kind of slip that alters legacies. Not to mention the fan theories that are currently circulating online. Some claim that Remy's own team leaked the affair in order to bury a bigger secret involving alleged financial fraud connected to her merch company. An ex-stylist who used to work with Claressa and Remy revealed in a now viral TikTok that she walked in on Papoose and Claressa fighting in a dressing room at a shoot last fall, and that Claressa screamed, "You said she didn't matter anymore." The courtroom fiasco is a diversion from an impending IRS audit. But wait, don't log off just yet because it gets messier. And guess what? That photo shoot happened 2 days after Remy wrote a mysterious remark on Instagram that said, "Y'all, we can't make this stuff up." Actually, we did. Still, it sounds good, doesn't it? Loyalty is louder than lies. Watch who whispers when you're not around. Even if 10% of this is true, the trust is gone, the internet is in flames, and the throne that Remy once sat on, untouchable, undefeated, unshakable, is now cracked, crumbling and possibly permanently vacant. And Claressa? Oh, she's just watching it all from the front row, sipping her water like she's at a Floyd Mayweather fight. But what happens now? Where does this all go from here? Because, as you may recall, Remy didn't say a word after she got up. No statement, glare, or threat. Just a blank stare at the man she once thought would take a bullet for her. And now he's the one who fired the shot. The collapse of Remy Ma's image not only rocked her marriage, but it also may have blown up her entire career. First, the legal ramifications. After the courtroom chaos, several outlets reported that Papoose's testimony caught Remy Ma's legal team off guard, not because of what he said, but because of what he had done by publicly acknowledging a deeper relationship with Claressa Shields. Why? Private communication she shared with both PAP translations. Perjury charges may be pending, and it doesn't stop there. According to court insiders, new subpoenas have been filed that target text messages, direct messages, and even deleted WhatsApp threads between the 3 parties. Yes, the court wants everything, and they're not just looking at betrayal. They're looking into whether Remy pressured Claressa to keep quiet about something much more sinister. Apparently, that something involves an undisclosed settlement offer that Ray's team floated to Claressa months ago. A 6-figure deal to settle past misunderstandings, conveniently sent right after Claressa posted a cryptic tweet. Sometimes silence is paid, not earned. Is that a coincidence or a failed hush money attempt? Meanwhile, we can't have that energy around the franchise right now, as evidenced by a leaked direct message that shows a reality TV producer texting. The courtroom breakdown and the cheating scandal involving a potential witness are bad optics for the brand. And the collapse of her joint venture line, a makeup brand she was launching under her daughter's name, could cost her over $2 million in pre-launch investments. Investors have reportedly pulled out, citing reputational instability and volatile partner dynamics. In other words, they don't want their blushes associated with a marriage gone nuclear. However, Papoose has surprisingly remained silent since that devastating day in court. No statement, no video, no damage control, just silence. And that silence has sparked its own set of rumors. One particularly wild theory says he's gone off the grid in a private villa owned by Swizz Beatz, who has stepped in to mediate between the two. Another theory says he's in negotiations with a publisher for a tell-all memoir called Pap Truth, Loyalty, Lies, and the One Night That Changed It All. Is it true? Who knows, but the mock cover is already making the rounds. And then there's Claressa Shields, the woman at the center of the controversy, who hasn't denied anything, but has been taking advantage of the situation. She posted a picture of herself wearing boxing gloves 48 hours after the courtroom confession and captioned it, Some punches land harder than others. Savage. Totally savage. However, insiders say that behind the scenes, Claressa has hired a lawyer, not for defense, but for a potential lawsuit. According to reports, her team is getting ready to sue several gossip blogs and YouTubers who claimed that she had broken up a marriage and was pregnant by Papoose. The latter rumor was so widespread that Wendy Williams had to address it in a flashback segment. So, no baby, no confirmation, but no denial either, which naturally only feeds the fire. Speaking of fire, let's talk about the ultimate betrayal twist. Just when everyone believed that this scandal had reached its climax, someone leaked the courtroom surveillance audio. And let's say, this was never about love. Truth was at issue. The microphone drops. Internet breaks. Some see it as his ultimate decision to be honest instead of loyal. Others see it as a last jab at Remy, a woman who built her brand on authenticity, but allegedly lived behind layers of deceit. Whatever the case, the timing was disastrous, and the audio leak became the last nail in the coffin for any chance of reconciliation. And where is Remy now? Insiders say she's checked out of the public eye, allegedly recovering in a private estate owned by a family friend. No phones, no press, just silence. Some say she's refusing all interviews. Others say she's preparing for a surprise documentary to clear her name. Given Remy, it could be either. The original courtroom witness, Jasmine Dior, daughter of one of Remy's former rivals, came forward in a live stream late last night, revealing that she was the one who instructed Claressa to appear in court. Yes, Jasmine said, Ray has been avoiding Karma for years, and I just gave Karma her seat in the courtroom. She then played a brief, muffled recording of a conversation in which Claressa is said to have said, I didn't want to be part of it, but you're right. She must answer for what she did. Wait, answer for what? Nobody knows for sure yet. However, there are rumors of a deeper scandal that links long-standing rivalries, courtroom betrayals, and perhaps a long-forgotten crime. Ladies and gentlemen, this rabbit hole doesn't end with a broken marriage. It might be the start of Remy Ma's entire life. We began with a courtroom confession and ended up unraveling a possible love triangle. A betrayal plot, leaked surveillance audio, potential perjury, and now the emergence of Jasmine Dior, a woman many say has been plotting this moment for years. Remy Ma, the ride or die, the loyal lioness, the woman who waited, survived, and rebranded, collapsed not from physical pain but from the emotional gut punch of truth. Papoose, the poet of loyalty, admitted under oath to a moment he can never take back, and Claressa's shields were unbothered, untouched, and perhaps undefeated in multiple ways. But here's what we want to know, and what you need to answer in the comments. Did Claressa plan this whole thing? Was Papoose manipulated, or was he just done pretending? Manipulated, or was he just done pretending? And what precisely is Remy concealing that has witnesses whispering and insiders lawyering up? And let's not forget Jasmine Dior's last words. She needs to answer for what she did. Answer for what, Jasmine? What aren't we being told? Leave your theories in the comments and don't hold back. We'll be watching, and if you thought this was crazy, just wait, because the next hearing is already set. And based on what we're hearing, more names are going to be dragged into the storm. Hit that like, smash that subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss the next explosion, because on Gossip Spill Vibe, the drama is just getting started. Ladies and gentlemen, get ready. We're talking about Remy Ma, the Bronx-born rap queen who never flinches. She collapsed and screamed on the floor, and why? Because her man, Papoose, made the kind of confession that broke everything. We've all heard the whispers, the looks at the BET Awards, and the late-night training sessions, but yesterday, in front of a stunned courtroom, Papoose admitted it all. That night, the one Remy begged him not to mention, and what he said left Jaws on the floor and Remy on the ground. And Claressa, cool as ever, didn't blink or move, just stared straight ahead as if she knew this was coming. Ladies and gentlemen, this isn't just another celebrity scandal. It's the kind of courtroom chaos that makes Netflix executives salivate. At the center of it all is Remy Ma collapsing in an open court while her so-called king, Papoose, stood 10 toes down and confessed to something no one, and we mean no one, was prepared to hear. Let's go back in time because this wasn't just a random Tuesday in court. Oh no. This hearing was supposed to be procedural. A routine appearance regarding Remy's ongoing legal drama, tied to an old assault case that resurfaced after a witness. Hello, Jasmine Dior, the daughter of one of Ray's former enemies. Re-emerged with new rather than focusing on her own accusations. Remy was taken by surprise by something much more profound and personal. Imagine this. The courtroom is tense. Reporters are in the front, cameras are prohibited, but sketch artists are prepared, and there she is, Remy Ma, head held high, wearing that black power suit as if she were bulletproof. But in the back corner, Claressa Shields, the unbeaten boxing champion, is sitting quietly behind oversized sunglasses, sipping water as if she hadn't just shown up to blow up someone's marriage. And Papoose looks like a man caught between a cliff and a grenade. To understand why this moment exploded the way it did, you must know about that night. The night that everyone in the industry whispers about but no one dares to confirm. Let's unpack it. According to several anonymous insiders who, let's be honest, were probably just the courtroom janitors texting bloggers from the hallway, Papoose was called to the witness stand as part of a procedural defense motion. Nothing dramatic, just a statement. However, once he got up there, something changed. His voice trembled. His lawyer attempted to step in. This was the night that started it all. The night Papoose was allegedly training with Claressa late into the night while Remy Ma was out of town on tour, trusting her husband, her ride or die, to hold down the fort. Even the judge appeared uneasy. Then, Papoose said, "I owe the truth to this court and to my wife, even if it ends everything." He turned to face Remy, who tensed up. Claressa didn't blink, and then he said it. It wasn't just training. He acknowledged that the night with Claressa was more intense than that. There was silence, followed by screaming, and then Remy Ma collapsed. People rushed to her, and court officers called paramedics. The judge pounded his gavel like a funeral drumline. Let's talk about motive, because this wasn't just infidelity. It was emotional warfare. Recall that Remy Ma and Claressa Shields have a quiet history of rivalry that dates back to their joint appearances in 2018, when Claressa was being called the female face of hip-hop boxing, and Remy allegedly told producers not to book them on the same panel. Fast forward a few years, and Claressa is suspiciously everywhere. At charity events, backstage interviews, photo shoots, and even low-key studio nights that nobody thought to post until after Remy was tagged. But wait, the internet doesn't forget. If loyalty was a brand, Papoose was the ambassador up until this point. But what changed? Well, according to those close to the couple, things haven't been right for a while. Remy started aggressively rebranding, diving into mainstream TV and business ventures, and allegedly leaving Papoose behind creatively. That famous clip from last year's BET Weekend Afterparty shows Claressa and Papoose getting out of the same car at 3:17 a.m. Of course, they claimed it was a group ride, but in the video, only 2 doors are open. It doesn't take Sherlock Holmes to see the writing on the ring, but let's go back to that courtroom moment, because the most haunting part of it all wasn't just the confession, but the aftermath. As Remy was being helped up by paramedics, she didn't look at Papoose once, but Claressa gave her one long stare, the kind that says, "Yeah, it happened, and I'm not sorry." She's been seen at more events without him than with him lately, and rumors of a cooling-off period have been circulating for months. To be clear, Papoose's statement that he went further has not been officially confirmed. The internet didn't just react when news of Remy Ma's courtroom collapse spread like wildfire. No tape, no photos, just a cold confession and the wreckage it left behind. But in the world of celebrity courtrooms, where truth and perception blur faster than a TMZ headline, the damage is already done, and fans, they're in full meltdown mode. Within minutes, Twitter exploded. Remy Ma was trending worldwide. Some fans called it a betrayal, while others called it karma for past arguments. It blew up, and within minutes, Remy Ma, juror Papoose, and Claressa Shields were all in the top 5 globally. Before she even left the stretcher, memes appeared on the internet with their own versions of what actually happened that night. Let's start with the big one, the leaked security footage purportedly taken from a private gym in Jersey. It showed Papoose and Claressa alone, with lights dimmed, gloves off, leaning in close, and leaning in a way that had nothing to do with sparring. The clip ended just as their hands touched. Is it a coincidence, or was it just enough to keep the internet guessing? Then came the audio clip, a mysterious 47-second recording of a man who sounded suspiciously like Papoose whispering, "I never meant for it to happen like that. Keep it from Remy. We don't wait for confirmation." We analyzed the vibe and, it's screaming guilty. Within hours, bloggers were citing anonymous sources who claimed that Papoose and Claressa had been secretly emotionally involved for more than a year. One even claimed the two spent a weekend together at an Airbnb in Miami under aliases Mr. and Mrs. Black. Original, not really. Suspicious? Very. However, verified celebs began to weigh in as well, in addition to vloggers and fans. Funkmaster Flex tweeted, "Told y'all years ago." Cardi B posted a single eyeball emoji, and that was all. Just eyes, but coming from her, it was enough to send fans into full conspiracy mode. Within minutes, screenshots of old Remy or Cardi drama reappeared, claiming this was all some long-played industry payback. Then came the text messages. Papoose wasn't all clean. There's no man that patient without a side story. Screenshots of Papoose sending texts like, "Just say the word and I'll walk away from everything," were released from an iCloud backup purportedly owned by Claressa. Let's take a moment to appreciate the beautiful chaos of it all. Remy Ma, the woman who made a career out of being unbreakable, was now the target of the messiest betrayal scandal in hip-hop since Jay and Baw's elevator incident. This time, however, it was a courthouse, and instead of a silent nod, we got a full-body collapse, paramedics, and a confession that will be taught in Scandal School 101. The real kicker, though, is that sources close to Claressa are now claiming that she came to testify against Remy and not to support Papoose. The internet was busy replaying the collapse, freaking out over that night, and wondering if Claressa had just snatched someone else's man. But the real reason she was in court may not have had anything to do with romance. According to leaked court documents, which may or may not be authentic, Claressa filed a sealed statement citing emotional intimidation and reputational sabotage from Ray's team. So, if Claressa came to speak against Remy and Papoose was forced to take the stand during that same hearing, was his confession a spontaneous meltdown or a calculated betrayal? Let's move on to Ray's inner circle, or what's left of it. Tanya Martinez, her longtime publicist, was spotted leaving the courtroom mid-hearing, shouting into her phone, "This is not what we rehearsed. Oh, you practiced with this girl. What sort of press conference were you all organizing? Can't glam rage?" And her legal team were included in an Instagram story that her stylist swiftly removed after posting a picture of a damaged makeup palette. According to rumors, 2 lawyers left the case soon after Papoose testified, claiming they couldn't agree on how to communicate with their clients. Translation: this degree of drama is not what they signed up for. Although Papoose hasn't addressed the media directly, one of his team members has. Papoose didn't intend to confess, according to a purported family representative, but he gave in to pressure after seeing Claressa in court. Guilt or an emotional whim. It's the kind of blunder that alters legacies in any case. Not to mention the fan hypotheses that are already circulating online. Some claim that Claressa orchestrated this whole situation as part of a larger scheme to damage Remy's reputation and establish herself as Papoose's replacement as the new power woman. Some others think Remy's own staff disclosed the affair in an attempt to hide a more serious secret concerning potential financial malfeasance connected to her merchandise business. Yes, you read correctly. Some even speculate that the entire courtroom drama is a pretext for an impending IRS audit. Don't log off just yet, though, since it gets messier just when you think it can't get much messier. In a now viral TikTok, a former stylist who had previously worked with Claressa and Remy revealed shocking information. She added that last fall, while she was in the dressing room at a shoot, she saw Papoose and Claressa fighting. Claressa allegedly said, "You said she didn't matter anymore. And guess what?" That photo shoot happened 2 days after Remy wrote in a mysterious Instagram message, "Watch who whispers when you're not around. Loyalty is louder than lies." It sounds wonderful, doesn't it? At this point, even if 10% of this is real, the faith is gone. We can't make this stuff up. In fact, we did. The internet is on fire.